Annie's here. Oh, she's multitasking. I do have to fix that, don't I? Hi, Gigi. Get my computer up and running while it's slow. You know, got to do these things. 1,001 things to do. Angela, hi. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Gigi says hi to Angela. Deb's here. What is new with everyone? Just trying to get something up on my computer quickly. Some settings on my YouTube. So sorry that I'm taking a little wee moment, guys. What? So today I'm going to work on putting that baby together that I have been working on, I had been working on in the past weeks with you. I don't want to go on to any great new task at the moment, so I thought, well, I'll just do what I've got to get done and get them all up to date so we all know what we're up to. Sorry, where are we up to? Come on, I should have done this before the stream, but that's me, you know, that's how busy I get. Gets pretty crazy. Yep, did that. Okay, almost there. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Denise. Hi, new to the baby world. Gee, that is exciting. I love hearing that. Gigi said, did you ladies get the dust storm? It didn't quite hit where I am. I don't know about Angela, probably pretty much dissipated by the time it got to her. But it was just, we got a little bit of haze and a lot of wind. But it wasn't, I mean, the wind has been crazy. But yeah, we didn't really get much of a terrible dust storm or anything like that. How was yours?
Sorry.
That's okay.
How do I do something? Where do I go to invoices and make a new one?
It's pretty much, if you go to dashboard, you can click on dashboard, it'll take you to like our old
screen.
Yeah, basic screen. We've just got our accounting program we're working on at the moment has all changed today. So Teacup's just come in and she's like, what? No dust there for you, Angela. Angela says, good morning, Annette. Didn't have any sound before, but all good now. Okay, good. Lorraine said, hi, everyone. Good morning, beautiful. Mwah, good morning. Thank you very much, Annie. Deb said, wasn't as bad as the 2009. It's very dusty over everything where you are. I heard yesterday at Roma, they had tumbleweeds, like an obscene amount of tumbleweeds like blowing through it, and it was all piled up like, you know, big bubbles in a bubble bath, but they're all tumbleweeds. So I thought that was kind of funny. Now why can't I get to that? I want to go there. Take me there. Hang on, I'm almost there. I know I'm going away, but yeah. I'm trying to do something. Very dusty over everything, yes. Hi, Kelly. Okay, do this. Sorry, 1,000 things that I'm always trying to do, as we all know. But I will get to our start in a moment. Hi, Willow. Annie says, we have snow up to our ankles here. Wow. That's pretty crazy. We don't. We absolutely don't. Okay, let me do this. You silly thing. Oh, yeah, sorry. Pasting. Okay, it doesn't like me at the moment. Okay. Got it. Okay, I'm done. Jenny says, I live in Texas, USA, and we get dust from Africa. Wow. That would be a little bit red, wouldn't it? Would it be red? Kaylee said, hi, I just got the Reborn Priscilla asleep. I'm so in love. She's beautiful. Have you actually, is it completely made or do you have to make it, Kaylee? Gigi said, I'm spending the day washing baby clothes. That's always enjoyable to do. And Jennifer says, hi, Annette, happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. Happy Tuesday to me. I mean, it is Tuesday. Angela said, yes, I saw that on the news. Tumbleweeds everywhere. It looked crazy, didn't it? No, you're fine. No need to share any links particularly. I mean, just the usual. But no, you're not working today, Annie. It's Leslie. A Reborn on the Sun said, for my reborn baby girl should be here Wednesday or Thursday. That's exciting. Hi, Leslie. Gigi said, no, we don't, but we wish we do have snow. Oh, yeah, that'd always be nice. Jennifer said, Annette has not looked at my dolls yet. No, I haven't. Now, I'm actually on, like, the log at the moment. So what I will do is I'm going to try and find your little words there. Gee, am I that far behind? Crazy. Okay. I'm going to your channel right now. I'm not going to look at your channel, but it's going to be on my computer screen. Okay, I've got it. I'm subscribing. But let me just see. Okay, so I'm there. It's there. I'll have a look afterwards. I didn't actually see your message come through to go and subscribe. So it's weird. I'm like this here, and I'm looking over here and myself going like that. Okay, it's crazy. Okay, let me get onto this. Leslie said, hey, Angela, how are you? Kaylee said she's made. That's good. First time reborn. Mum says, hi, Annette. Hi, everyone. How are you? Crystal said, I had the worst luck making my first reborn. That is really distracting. Me flying my arms everywhere on a screen over there. Why? What happened, Crystal? Tell us about it. Angela said, good, Leslie. How are you and Bub going? No, you can just relax, Annie. And Christy says, hi, how are you? You're very welcome, Jennifer. Thank you, Leslie, for sharing my website. And says, Angela, can you contact me after the live stream, please? Cool. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Crystal. Kelly says. And Annie said, I still have dolls for sale that aren't selling. And maybe get them away. Well, come Christmas, you never know. Some might start selling, it can get to that. Hi, Joanne. Okay, so I'm going to work on this today. So as you know, we're working on this baby here. I've got to still cut his eyelashes back just a smidgen, just an absolute smidgen. But I'm going to start putting him together today. I've been so busy and it's time to do it. Okay, so I've got a leg here. So I'm going to work with 2 different glass beads today just so you can see the differences and everything. So the first one is the fine. This is a super fine premium glass bead. You can see it's all shiny and sparkling there. I'm going to shut that computer because all I can see is me moving. So now when it comes to glass beads, I've got 5 different types. Okay, now we've talked about this 1,000 times, but for those of you who are here and haven't heard it before, we'll talk again. So by the way, I'm not going to answer everyone's messages as I'm doing this, otherwise I'll never get it done and it'll be frustrating. But if I see something pop up, I'll try to reply. Hi, Terry. It's cute. Thanks, Kelly. And Jennifer said, I sold my first 3 completed reborns. I feel so great and successful. Yay! Just before Christmas. Sounds awesome. Crystal said, I tried using artist watercolors. I had it painted the way I liked, but then had to find a good sealer. I put the doll together, but couldn't much touch it, or the paint would come off. Oh, okay. What are the beads named? Okay, so this one is like the premium fine glass bead. I have another one up from that, which is premium coarse. It's just like little tiny, teeny, tiny balls. I also have, your tumble glass fine. Now that's pretty much like this, but it's green in colour and just a little bit more gritty. Then I have a standard, which is really a good all-rounder for all babies. And then I have the the tumble glass course, which looks like this, which is kind of like, like raw sugar, sort of that kind of look. Now this one I recommend for inside the body and inside the head. So we've got the premium fine and the tumble glass fine. They're the ones that I highly recommend for in the limbs. We've got the standard, which is a good all-rounder for someone who just wants to order like one type. And then we have the premium course and the tumble glass course. They're the ones I recommend for the body and head. Generally, if someone was to ask me, I always split them up and tell them to go fine and course. I think it's always the way to go. But there's a lot of customers who just like to stick to the one thing. They don't want the fuss. But it is good to go for the two if you can. Crystal said, I found a sealer and tried it. Let's just say the sealer did not work. Oh my goodness, that's so sad. Yes.
Do you have paper towel?
Should be some in the cupboard over there.
The fridge has got a hole for water down the bottom.
Okay. So I guess that's because it hasn't had many cans in there lately. It's probably, yeah. Deb, your order is ready to send out today. The courier should be picking it up any minute. Jennifer said, I really do. It makes me feel like I'm a I've made a good choice starting on S3. Good job. Crystal said it ended up making a school glue feel all over it. Just came off with water. Also destroyed the painting. That's a shame. Yeah, some things like watercolor. Yeah, I obviously I've never tried it before, but to me it kind of does ring alarm bells that it wouldn't be something that would really stay on. And Kelly said, you can start it over though, so all is not lost, Crystal. That's exactly right. But it is sad when it happens, especially when you like the work and it's like, oh, it's so pretty, and then it gets ruined and you're just like, I'm devastated. Yes, Crystal said, so I had to just strip it, so now I'm waiting for better paints and sealer. Well, good luck with that. I hope it all goes well. Angela said, I always take your advice because you know best. Oh, thanks, Angela. And by the way, Angela, I was telling everyone here about the Mythbuster thing I'm going to do with the Genesis paint versus the air dryer Magical Realism and Luminaire. I haven't completely finished that yet, so the jury's still out on that one, but I am trying to get to it, so I will know soon. Yep, Kelly said trial and error, don't give up, Crystal. That's exactly right. Hi, Tammy. How are you? All right, so I'm going to put my tumble glass course away for a moment and just bring back in the premium glass bead. Now, remember what I said. This one is more expensive. It's probably about, I want to say double. It's almost double the price of the tumble glass. So a lot of people just stick with the tumble glass. I guess the premium, it comes out white. It's more refined, especially in this. It is super, super, super fine. It feels nice. You can feel it. It's so clean feeling. There's no grit in it. It's just perfectly refined. So you're paying for what you get, pretty much. You're getting an absolute beautiful feel. But when it comes to limbs, I especially like it, obviously a little bit more so than the tumble glass fine. One is because I want my customer to have a quality product. But two, I just feel since it has no grit, like it's not even a little bit, it gives that really good muscle tone. So if we get our muscles, even though we've got fat here, and we give it a squeeze, it's just like, around your muscle area. It's solid, but it's not crunchy or anything like that. So that's what we try to do when we're obviously creating the babies. So don't forget, anyone who's new just popped in, I'm not answering everyone's messages while I do this. The glass beads are pretty, aren't they? Awesome. Jennifer has subscribed to everyone. And Gigi said acrylics and what is that? Gouache. Sorry, I don't even know. Is that gouache-based paints have grip and can air dry? Okay, that's interesting. Thank you so much, Leslie, for sharing that. Okay, so I've just got like a little scoop here. I'm going to basically fill my limbs. I like to fill them to about halfway, sometimes a little bit less, but generally halfway is my go-to these days. I used to do it 3/4, and then I'd do the rest like polyfill. But I found over the years, you know, talking back to past customers, that they would be like, that baby's so heavy. They love it, but the baby's so heavy. So I thought, well, trying to get to more of a realistic weight, I'd go to halfway. So basically I just scoop all my glass bead into there, up to the halfway point. I know you can't see that, but I was hoping that maybe the light would shine through. So anyway, you can see it there. It's just around the knee part. And I like the weight. I like the weight. It's actually quite good. Okay, actually it feels a little bit heavy. Just trying to think before I do it. I might take just the smidgen out.
We got bountiful, baby.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, that was just a smidgen out, so that's good. So now what I'll do is I've got just polyfill, just your regular polyfill. You can use other things, you know, like your angel silk and all that kind of stuff. But using angel silk in the legs is really a complete waste of money because it doesn't need it. You can't feel that it's the angel. Just get some nice quality polyfill, fresh, new.
Sorry, we've got an order for 50 wedges and we don't have any.
Okay, all right, I'll arrange that afterwards. I'll grab it. So just fill it in there. It's amazing how much you'll actually get into a section. But you have to fill it right because at the moment, like with the glass bead down the bottom, like I said, it's going to give that nice muscle feel. You can see it from the side there. It's just a really nice feel. You don't want it to go too much. And then you want the top part to be very similar. So see how it's not going like this or anything. It's just doing a nice, and so is the bottom. So that lets me know that that's pretty much exactly where I want it to be. I always pop a plug into play. That's how I make sure that this is sealed. Now, that's pretty much just because I'm trying to do a premium quality baby. But a lot of people do, some people make cardboard and glue it on there, or felt and glue it into place. Once again, there's no sort of right or wrong way, as long as that's sealed. You have to seal it because otherwise any of the glass bead over time will make its way out the top and then it'll be all gritty and sandy and yucky. So just pop that in place and push it down. Now, if I'd have too much polyfill in that might be hard to push all the way down. So if it's got the complete right amount, it'll go into place and there'll be no problems. So that's all finished and sealed really nicely. And I know that when my customer, if they were to ever open the baby, which it does happen, some people may not like a certain body you use, or they might have spilt something on the body and have to take it off to wash it or something. It does happen. So I know when they have to if they get it off or anything, nothing's going to fall out. It's going to be nice, clean, crisp, like that. So I'll talk about as well while I'm here, if you get the Bountiful Baby kits, they always tell you what kind of plugs and neck rings, what sizes you need. But some of the more premium babies, they don't actually give any inclination to what sizes you need. And that can be really frustrating for a lot of people. But basically, all you need to do is, can you actually bring me out a measuring tape, teacup? Just a small measuring tape. I'll just show you how to do it now. So, thank you. So you can know when you're ordering plugs, if you want to, which ones to order. So, if we measure across here like this, actually we only want to measure across here, we should be able to see, well, I can see, you guys might not be able to. Let's see. You should be able to read it because it's back to front. So we've got 1 centimetre here, right? 2 centimetres. Just move my hand here. 3 centimetres. And then you can see 4. Now if you were to look pretty close, I know it's moving a lot at the moment and it's being a bit stinky to me. But if you were to look pretty close there, you can see that we're basically on the 3.5 centimetre mark, or 3, that's in millimetres, what's that, 35 millimetre? Yes, 35 millimetre. Anyway, so 3.5 centimetres is 35 millimetres. So that's when you would have to get the 35, you can see, let's have a look if we can see it. The 35 in there, that means it's a 35 millimetre plug, and we'll go in there nicely if I push it all the way in. So that's basically how you measure any plugs. So again, if I was doing it with the arm here, I just measure across there. I measure across there, just across the middle bit, so up to there, and that would comes to, it looks like it's just around 26, which is basically a 27 millimetre plug. So if we get the 27 millimetre plug and put it into place, boom, it'll fit in there nicely. Same with the head. We go across here, sit in place. And you can see we're right on the 4 there, 4 centimetres, which is 40 millimetres. So that means we need a 40 millimetre plug. Now when we get to neck rings, you have to measure this whole portion here, which comes to 65, I think it was. Well, it's over 6, so there's your 6. So it's right there, which means 60, it's 6.5 centimetres, which is 65 millimetres. So that means I would need a 65 millimetre neck ring. So that's how you measure it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And just to remind everyone who's here, I'm sort of just sort of talking. So if you do need something, I'll try, and hopefully I will see your message, but someone will call me out on it anyway. Jennifer said, Annette, it is great to learn from, she is my favourite. I've watched all of her tutorials. You must know me so well then. Sorry if delayed. I got, packages are always good. Tammy says, I use felt on. That's how they taught us in the painting class, but they did tell us about the plugs. I will get to the neck ring and what it does, so stay tuned for that. So once again, like the plugs just make it a little bit more neat, and I think they really do take the work out of you. I mean, if you consider with a felt, you actually got to, cut it out to the right size. You've got to get your glue. You've got to glue it in place. You've got to, let that glue set. I just think it's, more jobs than we kind of need to do in general. So the plugs are good for that. They do cost money, obviously, but they take away all the extra work. So sometimes using a premium product can actually give us less work, which is always nice. Really, really nice. So I'm going to fill up the other leg just below the knee like I did with the other one. A little bit more. So again, it's just below the knee there. Okay. And let's get some stuffing, some polyfill. Now I've also seen people, grab old cushions and pillows and rip them apart and put that stuff in there. Now, there's kind of nothing wrong with that if you want to keep the baby for yourself and it's just, going to be yours. But I do highly suggest if you are selling the baby, you know, give the customer the new product. I mean, if you consider if it was your pillow or and you'd been sleeping on it for 2 or 3 years, it's going to have all your drool and everything in it and won't be nice smelling fresh and things like that. So even though it might look clean, it doesn't necessarily mean it's clean. It could be dusty and it just won't be fresh. It's not a nice thing to do as a sales point of view. But if it's for yourself or your children, you know, there's no problem with that. You can do it. Okay, again, so I'm going to go with my little squeeze test here. Always doing my squeeze test. And that feels a little bit too squeezy to me. I want it to be, like I said, just a nice muscle tone. Not too squeezy. Not too squeezy just makes it like, well, it doesn't make it realistic, does it? So, like again, shoving. So again, it's a lot better. I like it a lot better. Put my plug on. And away I go. All nice and ready to go. Okay, 2 legs done. Now onto the arms. Just check if anyone's have any questions. Oh, Megan's watching. That's good. Thank you, Leslie. I know you're a busy mummy. And he's probably thinking, I'm a busy mummy too, and it's nice to have a nice day off and just sit back and watch with my babies. Leslie, you get to do that Friday, okay? Okay, so again, I'm going to go just around the elbow region. Because basically you can also get a feel for it too if you feel it on your arm. If it's too light, you know, you want it that if someone drops that, like the arm on their hand or something, that it feels like it has some weight to it, you know, some realism, not just like a typical doll we have at the store. Okay, and fill the rest with polyfill. I'm glad to get all this baby all finished up today because I need to get it on its way to its mum so she can get it for Christmas. Have something nice to open at Christmas maybe. Okay. So too, if you were putting the glass bead down there, you'd have to make sure that the polyfill travels through and follows into that area. Okay, nice squeeze test there. Squeeze test. Probably have a little bit more. Okay. That's a little bit better. And once we put our plug in, it does push the polyfill down a little bit and compact it a little bit more. So there we go. Squeeze test. Squeeze test. And it feels really, really nice. Okay, now to a commercial. Aussie Reborn Supplies is a great Aussie Australian distributor of Reborn supplies. You can buy from them at www.aussierebornsupplies.com.au. Hope you liked that commercial. Oh, I'm an idiot. I know, I'm a complete idiot. You're probably thinking, what just happened? What just happened? This just happened. And I don't have a case because I was running late, and yeah. Angela says, I weigh each leg and arm so they weigh the same. It's a bit OCD, but I can't change, so I'll just go with it. I think that's a really good idea, Angela. My problem is, well, actually, I'm really quite good at normally getting the weights very similar. I bet you if I did weigh them, they'd be very, very similar. But it's probably more of a sort of thing for me is I just don't want to go get the weighing machine, all that kind of stuff. But I do think it's a great idea. Jennifer said, I actually found a chart in which, yes, they used a cadaver and came out with percentages of how much each limb should weigh. The body should weigh and the head. So I try to get super anatomically Yep, you get what I'm saying. That's great. That's interesting. Gigi said, I'm finding my toddlers are developing droopsy, flop, and hints on keeping them firm but light enough to carry. Yep, I can definitely give you some hints. I'll talk to you about that. And he said, I hear the aeroplane. Yeah, the aeroplane, that's like one from like the Ambley Air Base. Reborn under the sun and Tammy LOL. Gigi said, it's okay, we know you and you need your Pepsi Max. I absolutely do need my Pepsi Max. And he said, Pepsi Max is lucky you love the product. They need to sponsor you. If they don't, they're pretty stupid. Means I get custody. Well, they don't want to. They've got a rule. They don't sponsor anyone unless it's like a huge big name. But that's all right. But these things happen. Paula says, hi, Mum. Just popping in to see my mum. Love, Matilda. Hi, baby girl. I love all your pictures that I'm getting from your mummy, Paula. And I love how you got the Cape Cod book for your birthday. I loved your party hat. I love your personalised outfit. I love the pictures of you on the Cape. You look really, really happy. I hope you're being a really good girl for Mummy Paula. And I love you very much. And be good. Be really, really good. So happy birthday. Everyone, I just want to show you there for Matilda for her birthday. And that little personalised outfit she's wearing with her party hat. So, so cute. And she's been doing so many lovely things. So many lovely things. Look at her. She's really busy. Can't show you them all because you've got to wait to see the videos. She did have a beautiful birthday cake. Oh, that's, I think, this way I want to go. There's her in a high chair. There's her having a party, so she's having a really great day. So thank you for popping in to see Mummy today, Matilda. I love you very much. The Nordic says, Sally here from Sweden. Hi, Annette. Hi, how are you, Sally? Monica said, Benji and I are going to go back to watching Three's Company. See you. Okay, bye, Monica. I know, stupid Pepsi. And he said, I love when she tells Tilly she loves her. Well, I do love her. She's my baby girl. Gigi said, oh, Matilda is having fun. Tammy says, hi, Matilda. Heidi says, hi, Annette. Hi, everyone. Hi. And Kelly said, I love her cheeks. In that side view. I know. It makes you just so cute. Hi, Jennifer. Oh, Jennifer says hi to Heidi. And Kelly says hi to Heidi. Angela said hi to Heidi. So, yeah, Matilda's having a great time, which is really lovely to see. And I'm hoping to get to see her before she leaves Paula. So that will be nice. I'm just keeping this to the elbow, guys. It's like a salt shaker there. I can put that away, can't I? Heidi said, I just got home and Ruby wants to be held and held. Oh, that's so cute. That's so sweet. My cats don't generally like to be held too much. They like it on their terms. Lorraine said, hi, Heidi. How are you? And he said, Tilly has Mouse's expression when I get Tilly, I'm a pincher. As I do all my babies, for some reason I love pinching. I won't tell her because that might scare her. I won't tell her that. Oh. Too squeezy. Heidi says, I'm good, really busy. Being really busy is good sometimes. Okay. I feel like that might be just a little smidgen too much. Good. Okay. There we go. So I'm all happy with that. So there's my 4 limbs, all weighted and plugged. So we do that. Pinching hurts, Annie. Yeah. Lorraine said, I agree, Tammy. And he said, not how I pinch. I use gentle hands for her. The others I pinch till they squeal. Oh, that sounds ouchy. And he says, real babies, though, I make faces for. I make my niece laugh as a baby. That's the greatest sound. Oh, it is the greatest sound, hearing a baby laugh. Okay, so we've got the body here at the moment. Now, the Sydney kit, which it is a 20-inch with 3/4 limbs, so we're going with the same. Now, some people use these strings when they're putting their limbs on, and there's nothing really wrong with that. You just put the limb in, tie it nice and tight and cut it nice and close to the edge. I don't, because over time I find that the strings eventually can, pop their little tie, their little knot. So I prefer to go to cable ties for something more permanent. So what you do if you're doing that is you just pull all of the strings out, as we don't need them. Like that. And pull all of them out, and they can go in the bin. So I've got some cable ties I prepared earlier. So I'm just using the premium cable ties here. Now we've got a couple of different types here. We've got the premium ones, which have the nice, very small end there. And I've got the budget ones as well, which have more of a square end, not as round, but they are still quite small. So they're the other ones I recommend. So you might see here that I've got 5 cable ties, and I've got 2 different sizes. The 2 small ones there are the 8-inch, and I use them for the arms. And these ones here are the 14-inch, and I use them for the legs and the neck. So I'm just going to thread them through the little holes while we keep chatting. Sometimes they can be a little bit difficult. Always make sure the little heads up and just go through. But sometimes they can get a little bit stuck on the way through, and you need to give them a bit of a wiggle. Gigi said, Annie. Thank you, Leslie, for sharing my Facebook, Aussie Reborn Supplies. How is that baby girl going, Leslie? Running you around? I've been working on my Christmas cards, and I can officially say it's not really official, is it? But I'm almost done. I've written up all of the cards. I've just got to address all of the back of the envelopes and put all the stamps on, and I'm away. And I have literally done about 50 cards this year, so I had a few early morning get-ups so I could get onto them. Yes, so that was quite interesting. It's amazing how long it takes to handwrite things. Okay, so I'm getting those in there. Almost there, guys. Heidi said, ordered a pack of 10 random assorted colours of little headbands from eBay. Took 2 months to get them. Opened them today, and they're 10 white ones. It's frustrating, isn't it? I mean, you take a chance when you're getting things like that. There's so many products that I get, and they take so long to receive. But I normally do receive all of them. But it's terrible when you get them and they're wrong. I totally get that. especially when it's a stock order for me and the customer's been waiting and you're just like, oh my God. Reborn Under the Sun said, it's a good thing I'm watching this as I have to assemble mine next week. Not looks forward to that part. Oh, you'll be fine. It's very nice and quick. Angela said, bugger Heidi. Jennifer said, oh no, Heidi, I know headbands are hard to find around here as well. Trisha says, I love putting babies together. It's a very special moment, really, isn't it? Because it's when they're literally coming to life. Heidi said, thanks to Angela. Deb said, I'm still waiting for my brushes from Wish. We're pretty quick on Wish, I've noticed. Reborn said, not me, Trisha, it's frustrating. A lot of work. It is fun though. Oh no, Marie is late. Marie, oh my goodness. Better late than never is what I say. Okay. And Denise says, do you have a paint video? I do have quite a few. And Angela loves to put the babies together as well. Okay, so I've got all my cable ties in now. And I'm going to first work on my legs. Not my legs, but the baby's legs. So I'm just going to put the camera down a bit there. So you've just got to make sure, really, really make sure when you're working on your legs that you've got them on the right way. There's nothing worse than putting them together and then really realizing they're on the wrong way. So make sure you put them into place first. Get your body, make sure your body has the cable tie at the back of the neck. That's where it goes. And sort of lay it down in place. Now, because this is a 3/4 limb, these little pockets here need some polyfill in. Make sure you don't put too much in. I've seen people put too much in before and it looks like like a muscle man. It's kind of hard to gauge what to put in and what not to put in. But you can by like overstuffing it and seeing how it looks, so to speak. I'll show you kind of what I mean. So I'm just going to put the cable tie in there so I can give it like a slight pull together. Okay. One thing with polyfill is you don't want to understuff it because the the polyfill compresses over time. And if you've only put like a small amount in, let's just say I just went and I thought, oh yeah, that fills it. I put a small amount in. You can see it's already too thin. It needs more filling. And then when it compresses more, it's going to get worse. So you've got to sort of think outside the box and think long term of how you want it to last. I normally stuff mine in place and then making sure I pick up the correct leg, the right side. I put the leg in place, pushing down that polyfill. And I think if I was to pull that together, how would it look? Would it look sort of uniform with the leg, or would it look like really stuffy and muscly? Okay, now I think that looks good, but I'm going to make it really stuffy and ugly. See if I can do that, so you can see what I mean. So if I really stuffed it, let's say I was like, oh my God, I don't want it to compress over time. Put my leg in place. Now this can happen. You can see how that, it's probably really hard to notice from the camera, but it kind of looks normal, doesn't it? But it is really overstuffed. You'll see what would happen is once I put it in there and I pull the cable tie, the outsides would really bulge, like really bulge out, and would look really, really fat. And like I said before, it would kind of look almost muscly. So check that again. You want it to pretty much sit around the same point that the leg's going to sit, like that. And then it won't be over either. Okay, so make sure all the polyfill is inside. Put the top part on like that, so it's making sure that polyfill is staying in. Just push that down in and start to pull it. You basically wiggle this back and forward. Don't go too fast. You want to still have, you don't want to make a point of no return. You want to still have time that you can pull the leg out if you want, if you need to do some adjustments. So I'm looking at that there and I see it looks quite good. I'm really happy with it. It's not overstuffed. It's pretty much just exactly the way I want it. So make sure, again, all that the polyfill is tucked in there and pull it, wiggle your cable tie so it nice and sits nice now. I then go like this and I sort of pull that back. Now why I do that is to make sure that if I had a customer, say a young teenager or something, and they were rough with it or something, I'd want to make sure that when they pull the leg, that there's no chance of that like inner leg, the plug area, this part, that there's no chance of it popping out. Okay, so I want to make sure that it's in there nice and secure. Give it a little bit of a twist so it still has a bit of maneuverability, and then that's all, that leg's done and that's ready to go. So I go and do that with the next one too. Hi Lorna's little loves, how are you? Heidi said, also got to see my friend's real 7-week-old baby. Oh my God, she's so tiny and adorable. I got to feed her and hold her a ton. Oh my God, that's so lovely. That would have been so cool, Heidi. I'm so happy to hear that for you. Brandy said, hiya, I've finished most of my envelopes when the kitten decided to spill my red Kool-Aid all over them. Brought new ones and the cards were a tad big. So I spent all day cutting the edges. Oh my goodness, that would have taken you up so much extra time. Angela said, haha, looks like a chicken body. It does look like a chicken body, doesn't it? G'day, Edie, how are you? Everyone says, oh man, Brandy. Sorry to hear that, Brandy. Terry said, I was thinking the same thing, Angela. You're blonde or should be? Oh, okay. Having fun with Reborn said, hey, ya all. Hi, how are you? And Reborn Under the Sun said, Angela, maybe we can do it together. I'm scared. I'm trying to add the glass beads and I'm still need to get 2 more pounds of glass beads, probably plugs and polyfill. You'll do fine. Thank you, Edie. Edie says, thumbs up, everyone. Put your thumbs in. Leslie said, pretty good, just changing her at the moment, trying to figure out what I want to put her in. Oh, so sweet. Gigi said, it compresses and you end up with babies or toddlers who develop droopsy. Having fun with Reborn said, I watch you all the time on YouTube, on my TV. I'm a new artist about to start on my first kit. I've learned so much from your videos. I'm so glad. I'm so glad for you. I hope you do well. Angela said, you'll do fine, Reborn Under the Sun. Now she's got ham hocks. Yes, that's right. Edie said, we don't have internet, TV or house phone, so I'm only here until my cell phone dies. Okay, fair enough. Heidi said, Reborn Under the Sun, as a rule of thumb, I feel limbs to the middle of the knees and the elbows. Kelly said, thanks for the thumbs up reminder. Reborn Under the Sun said, thank you, Angela. I hope so. I'm feeling not so good. I'm putting these together makes me frustrated. You'll be fine. Having fun with Reborns says, I'm having cold feet though at the moment, afraid to start because I may mess my first kit up. Make sure you got some testing limbs or some paper towel or something around that you can test before you actually put the paint to the kit. Doll Part said, did she cut the end of the leg? Usually don't, but was wondering if I should. I have got caps on the end, the plugs. Angel said, take your time, it will turn out lovely. Absolutely. It's a good point. Just put my cable tie in there like that. Kelly said, I was afraid too, but once I started, it was great. Okay. So I'm going to just keep going at the moment while you guys talk so I can keep going with this. Kelly does say, main thing to remember is keep layers thin and translucent. Yeah, I wanted to actually say that I've been working on a baby in the last week. Now, as everyone knows, Matteo has like a kind of a bit of an olive skin tone. It's a little bit darker. So with this new baby I was working on, I really wanted to give it like a really, like a peaches and cream, probably more like strawberries and cream look, very Caucasian. And so I did between 20 and 30 layers. And I made each layer very translucent. So when you were putting it on the kit, I could barely see it, but it was there. You could, you know what I mean. You could see that there was details and different shading and everything. Now I finished painting that baby, and I'm just about to start its hair. But working on it in such translucence and seeing the end result is beautiful. So don't be afraid, as long as you can see that you've done the paint and you can see it on your paper towel, it's going to come out on your kit. It's going to produce and develop different shadings and different textures and designs sort of on it. So don't be afraid of that, because you can just keep adding more anyway. I'll put this back down. But yeah, it turned out so lovely. I'm really in love with the skin tone of this new one I'm working on. And just to say that, you can do it. Start off light, don't start off dark. That will probably be your best option. Now just to let you all see that, it's quite good there. It's nice and firm without being too firm. And I'm able just to put it on there and pull away. And it's all in there right. So what are we now? We're on a different kind of chicken. You can sit there on my. There we go. And then now we'll do the same thing with the arms. Having fun with Reborn said thank you all. Emily's here. Hi, Emily. Angela said, hey, I've been busy and not on YouTube, but I sure have missed you. Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you. We missed you too. Brandy said, so I have heard yes or no. You tell me, plugs and rings on limbs. I know they are cheap, but curious. I say yes. I definitely say yes. I think it's a nice, neat finish to your baby. You definitely have to seal that area anyway because of the glass beads in it. So if you're not using plugs, you'll use like a felt, or maybe even some people cut out a cardboard circle and stick it there. I just think with the plugs, you're taking out the time that you have to do to cut the product out and glue it in place. It's just easy to pop on, and then if you think, oh, actually that's a little bit light, I want to add more weight to it, it's easy to then pop off and go back and put it in. So my thing is a yes. They're not too expensive, and at the end of the day, if you're trying to sell your babies to customers, you're giving them the best quality that they could ask for. Okay, so popping that in there. Hi, Elaine. Having fun with Reborn said, okay, question. So if you put a lot of layers, does it hurt the kit to be baked many times? That's a bit of a uppy downy thing. I've heard a lot of people say yes, it's not made to be baked and baked and baked and baked and baked again. So you should be mindful of that. But, most artists, when they're doing heat set paints, they're doing around 20 layers anyway, so you're fine. Obviously, I probably wouldn't, I mean, some people have to, what do you call it, strip kits and redo them and all that sort of thing. I haven't heard of many people having too much trouble with it, but in saying that, it is possible. So probably asked around. I personally haven't had any trouble working up to 30 layers. It's just as long as you've got the right temperature and everything, I think you'll be fine. Sometimes too, especially when I'm working with my layers anyway, sometimes I might do 3 layers before I actually bake it. So that actually reduces how many bakes you're going to do. Some people say that you shouldn't do that, but I basically put my layer on, let it completely dry, and then add the next layer. After all, I'm pouncing it on. I'm not wiping it on, so I'm not going to be wiping off that layer I put underneath. I'm pouncing on gently, so it just adds to it. I never have any problem. Angela said, how has everyone been, and how was your Thanksgiving? I'm fine. In Australia, we don't have Thanksgiving, so I didn't have one. Okay, making sure I'm using the right sides, remember? Put them in the right way they're going to be, and put them in front of you on the right side that they've got to be. Okay, so just push this down just a smidge. Okay. So sometimes the arms can be a little bit more tricky when it comes to that muscle look, but that's going to be fine. That you're still here. Yes, I know you fell down. I'm sorry about that. Can you still see me? Yep. You can all see me still? Ah, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's nothing worse than something being bumped and then I can't get back to you and I have to start a whole live stream. It's so annoying. Okay. I'll fix that so it won't fall over. Goodness me. Okay, so anyway, I've put that there. It's all in a good position. Now I'll just show you. I haven't put this all the way down so you can see what I mean. See how if I was to pull that really tight, that center part is going to pop out. See, like that? So that means that this isn't tight enough, which we can already see. So just pull it a little bit tighter and make sure again. If I was to pull it really tight, nope, that's okay. And it still has a little bit of arm movement there, which is good. And just do the other side. It's amazing how long this actually takes you when you're talking. Polyfill there. Arm in place. So I sort of just put it up to the top there. Like I said, when I tuck all that polyfill in there and put the arm there, that means it's in place and the polyfill isn't going to sort of flop out around it. That's why I try to do that. Now I think I might have too much there. Just a little bit out, I think. That all back in and see how that looks. See, that's a little tiny wincy bit overfilled, but I'm not too worried about it because, like I said, it's going to compress and that will work out fine. Okay, good. So here we go. Looking good. Okay, so I'll just do this cable tie up at the neck. Okay, so now we can fill the body. So I always like to put some polyfill in as a bed at the bottom, and you can grab a big amount. It doesn't matter. Just pop it in the bottom. Make sure it's all nice and filled in there, especially in the butt area. But you can fill extra in later if you need to. So I'll just put that aside for a moment, and what I get is my stockings, or you call them nylons, I believe. So just you know, they're quite cheap. Whenever I buy stockings, I think I normally get them here from Target. I think you can get a packet of 4 or something for around $4 or something. It's not that expensive. But I always get the tan colour or the natural colour, and I always get talls. So talls are obviously for women who are taller. I couldn't wear them because they'd be way too long on me, but I just feel that that's going to give me more product should I want to really, you know, make it go a long way. Now, as we know, these are really, really stretchy. So with that section, you could probably cut it into 3. I'm just going to cut it probably into 2, but I'll use about that length. So what I basically do, so that's probably about elbow to wrist. But what I do is I make sure I've got a quality stocking, give it a nice strong pull to make sure that it's going to be plenty long for me to fill it up and tie it. So just cut that part there. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to use some of the coarse tumbled glass there. So basically I can just fill that up into like about the size of a tennis ball, let's say. No, I don't have that. I'm just going to get something for a wee minute. We can handle that. Okay, now I just wanted to just quickly go and get my scalpel before I go ahead and put my my glass bead in the nylon. Some of the bodies you get, you'll see have the little setup thing in here. I can't remember what they call them. But if you run your finger along, say, this edge part here, see how there's a little pin sort of popping out there? That can be quite sharp. And when you put your stocking, or your whatever you call it, into there, it actually can get caught on there and cause a run in the stocking and actually rip. So you need to get something like your little scalpel and just basically run it along that edge and make it nice and flat. Now, if you're young or have problems with knives and that, please get someone else to do, maybe your husband. It's normally pretty quick because these scalpels are very sharp. So be very careful. And you could probably even go away from yourself if that works. So now you can see that that hasn't got that really sharp pointy bit there. Feel down into the other ones, but they should be pretty okay because they're under all your polyfill in that bottom section, so that's fine. But that's pretty important if you've got something that has a 3/4 limb and they've got those little sections there. Make sure that they're nice and filed off. You could probably even use a nail file, couldn't you? If you're a bit afraid of using the scalpel, use a nail file just to get that rigid edge down. Now, sorry if I haven't actually answered everyone's message, just trying to get through it. Oh, good. There you are, Miss Donnie. Miss Donnie said, may use a piece of sandpaper or a nail file instead of a knife. Good. Okay, excellent. Miss Donnie, I miss you. I haven't seen you in a while, having your little chat there. I hope you're doing well. Okay. Yeah, hi. Now, and also, Miss Donnie, are you able to send me a message like either on Facebook or on Patreon? Because whenever I have sent you messages before, I don't really get any replies, and I think it's because they're not getting to you. So I would love to have a way that I could actually, say hello every now and again. So if you could go either on Patreon and just send me a message or on Facebook, that would be really awesome. Trisha said, could you use something else besides tights? You definitely can. Some people actually make little weight sacks and they literally sew them up and everything. Basically, you just need something that's going to be really pliable and movable and not going to be like a hard ball and things like that. That's the main thing. And there's many ways of doing it. Some people make this really long, and in the center they put the glass bead in and they twist it, and then they make another ball on top. I'm not going to do that today, but there's many ways you can do it. Miss Donnie said, packing to move, got your email, but just now can answer. Okay, no worries. Yeah, let me know. Having fun with Reborn, said Reborn on the sun. Yes, I'm freezing today. Okay, so I'm going to just, like I said before, I'm going to fill this up to be around the size of a tennis ball. Now, like some of you guys have said, some of you have a certain way to do it, a certain amount you like to use. That's great. Stick with what works best for you. Hey. So I've got like the little ball there. Now I'm doing this on the outside, but normally you would already have that in there, okay? But I'm just doing it on the outside so you can basically see. Now see with that glass bead, it's not going to come through the nylon stocking. Some of your finer, your finer will definitely just come straight through the stocking. Sometimes the standard can come through as well. So I'm just going to fill that a little bit more because it wasn't quite tennis ball size. So I'd say that's about a tennis ball size. Now, you've got to make sure that a lot of people get them and they tie them and they tie that in a ball. Now, that's quite tight, and it's, if you can imagine that in your belly, it'd be like a stiff ball in there. We don't want that. We want to give it lots of flexibility to move. So I always suggest to do the knot up higher. Now, this is really pliable and movey and nice. It can sit flat. It can sit into a ball. It can sit into so many different positions, and is much more realistic when it's in the body. A rubber glove, I think, would be, number one, if you're using the coarse glass bead, they might actually rip it, and it might be a bit too tight. It might sit too tight like a ball. You really need something that's a bit more materialistic that can move. Okay, so Brandy said the rubber glove, she's used the rubber glove and it tends to settle and get hard. Yeah, that's what we don't want. We don't want it to get hard. Deb said, last packet of stockings I got was from the reject shop. Okay, good. And having fun with Reborn said, I think I'm going to go with stockings. Yeah, they're very cheap. I mean, just search around. Like I said, at Target I found them to actually be the cheapest. But search around, you'll find them cheaper. So anyway, I can put this in now. Just being careful, obviously, of those prongs still coming out. But you should have probably had it in there anyway. So I'm just going to pop it in there and just sort of let it sit down. Now, obviously, I don't have the head on at the moment, but you've got to use your imagination and pretend that there's a head there. And, put the baby over your shoulder and give it a feel, and feel like the weight of it and how sort of realistic. Now, I feel the arms and legs feel really good, but obviously the body just feels way too light. So what I'm going to do at this stage is I'm going to put just a little bit more polyfill in that center belly part, just above that baggie that I've just put in there. So it's just a little bit more fuller there. Still feel it. It's just not heavy enough for me. So that's where I'm going to add in another one. So just the same sort of thing again, just cut a piece of the nylon stocking. Obviously now I don't have a sealed end, so I have to put a knot in the end. Keep it towards the end as much as you can, like that, and make it nice and tight so they'll be nice and sealed. So this time I'm going to do it by putting it in the body so you can actually see. So I'm just going to put him on my lap, cuddling around my belly like this. And I'll just put that in there. Open up the end. Now, like I said before, some people actually, I know this is getting short, but some people actually put a ball of the weight in the end, and then they spin it to sort of seal it, and then they put another ball in. So it's like a figure 8 inside there.
I'm right to book that in today.
Yep, great, thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to fill that again, probably around another size of a tennis ball, but not quite. Let's go with, so as you can see, it's just filling there. I can sort of wiggle it to compress it into place. Yeah, I'll go with the, I'll just show you that anyway. That's just a little bit under a tennis ball. So then what I do is I try to hold this end section, lift him up and have a feel. Try to make sure that maybe even give that a little spin off so you can actually feel it. Considering, thinking about if there's going to be a head there, how much it would weigh. It feels a little bit better. I think it's lacking slightly. Out of my shirt. So I give it a little bit more. Okay, that's much better. I'm feeling the body is much better. Now I don't want it to be too heavy, but I don't want it to be too light either. So I'm going to tie that off now. And if I wasn't happy, I could always add another one in if I wanted. So just keeping that movability within that stocking. And yeah, that's much nicer. Hey, Bubba. So then fill the rest of that with polyfill. Now, one thing good about with the stockings is obviously always suggest getting a natural tan colour. I have had the black before, you know, sort of like I've been to a second-hand shop or something and they're selling like a heap of brand new stockings, like for 20 cents each. So I've been at times there where I've got black, and I have found on those occasions that the black actually shows through the cloth body. Like it just gives it like a little bit of a darkened spot in that area. So you still can use it, but you would have to make sure that you really pack it around with polyfill so it doesn't really show out. It's not a bad thing, but if you're buying brand new, I definitely suggest to get the natural colour. Now, once again, this will take a lot of polyfill, and we can see how we're going here. Feels lovely. Now, again, once we fill it, it's in everyone's general thought to get it so it's nice and loose and pliable. It's really good to do that, but you've also got to remember that polyfill will compress, and then you'll be left with droopsy, like Gigi said. So you don't want to do that. Sometimes it's better just to put a little bit extra polyfill in, you know, then it'll give it time to compress. Look at this little baby. So I'm just going to put this aside for the moment because I will be putting some more polyfill in, but I'm going to work on the head. So, Brandy said, Trisha, I think the size of the beads might be okay in the glove, but the fine beads just pack and turn hard. Yeah. No worries, Heidi. Thank you. The Reborn Doll Collective, hello. I'm just letting everyone know I'm not answering everyone's messages, so I can just keep going with this because it's taking forever. Hi, Astral. You're very welcome. Okay, so now when I'm working with the head, this is the time where I put my neck ring on. Okay, Tammy, yeah, listening. So the neck ring's pretty important. A lot of people don't use them, but I think that they are important. So this is our neck ring. As you can see, it's the same. This is the 65 millimeter. Again, I'll just let everyone know when you're measuring for a neck ring, you have to measure across the whole circle there, the whole circumference from side to side. Now that has 6.5 centimeters. I know it's upside down for you. 6.5 centimeters, which is basically 65 mil, and that's what I've got here, 65 mil neck ring. Now it doesn't go on like that, okay? Think about it going on the exact way that the neck looks, like that, okay? That's the way it's got to go on, because that smaller section is to go in this little groove here. Now, if you want to do it the easiest way, you'll put this neck ring on your last bake. It'll be nice and easy. It'll go on smoothly. It won't be stressful. I've had many a time of full stress where I'm trying to put it on and I've got like a harder kit and I've got all the hair and I don't want to rip or tear the hair, pull on it or anything, and it's stressful. But it's easy to forget and get up to that point. This kit is quite a nice soft kit and very movable, so I should be able to do this without an issue. So basically you just put it sort of into the section getting ready in that groove, and you just maneuver that neck into place. Just, it takes a little bit of shoving and moving and pulling and tugging, but you will get it in, okay? But like I said, if it was heated, it's going to be a lot easier. So you just keep moving it around. If it's really hard, you might have to get scissors or something. So again, be careful. You can push it through at this end, like by pushing that. You just got to be careful in everything you do. Just do small, slow movements. And here, just sort of wiggle it out. But generally, you can just do it with your hands, especially if they're nice and soft. Okay, so that's all in place. So this is how it'll look. Now the benefit of having a neck ring is when I put it onto my body, it will move like this, nice and easy. I mean, if you look at this, I mean, you can actually put neck rings on the top of limbs too if you want, especially if you're working with a full-limbed baby. So if you can see here, it moves. Actually, that's a good movement. They're normally not that good. Especially if you over-tighten the cable tie, they basically don't move at all. Okay? You want to have a small amount of movement in the especially in the full limb legs and arms, so that, you know, your arm can move up and down, etc., etc. So it's good to use neck rings for that. But neck rings are especially good for the head. So when I actually put it on like this, I'll just easily be able to go like this really fast. It won't be slow. It won't be restricted. It'll just move really nice and easily. So I definitely recommend a neck ring. Other things people have done in the past, some people I've heard get clear nail polish, and they just paint that middle section with clear nail polish. It just gives a little bit of glideability, so it's able to glide, you know, with the material against it, because I find that material against vinyl, it sort of gets a little bit stiff and rough. And that's why, you know, this plastic, it's nice and thin and smooth and easy to go, versus this isn't. Okay, so that's what that's for. I'm not sure what the Bountiful Baby actually sell in their size beads, Heidi. Miss Donnie said, you're right, the gloves turn hard to replace poor babies with. Had to replace poor babies with nylons. Okay, fair enough. Brandy said, so since I was just starting, I brought cheap glass from Harbour Freight and they are fine like sand. That's fine. As long as they're refined and they don't have any, it's not like sand. Exactly, it's not sand. It's been refined, so it takes any moulds or things out of the way and it's nice and dry. That's fine. Jennifer gets her beads from Harbour Freight. They're the white sugar fine, £5 for about $8. Okay. What's she doing?
Fighting with each other.
Oh, right. Miss Donnie said, I do like using at least neck rings on the babies. Okay. And having fun with Reborn said, oh, well, thanks for the neck ring pointers. I would have definitely put it in wrong. No worries. Reborn's Under the Sun said, guess what, Annette and everyone, my Reborn water just broke. Ooh, we'll be having my Reborn C-section around midnight or at 1 a.m. in the morning. She's coming tomorrow, but she'll arrive on Thursday. Awesome. Congratulations. Good luck with that. Okay, I'm going to keep going with this because I am running late, but that's all right. Okay, so with the head, I'm going to get the head now. Now, again, I'm going to lay a polyfill bed for my, a glass beads in there. I just like to do that. You don't have to do that. I just feel that's what I want. Okay, and so that's why I do it. Okay, so then again, I'm going to get my stocking. Cut a nice piece there. Okay, do my little knot there. Try not to waste too much of the stocking. I try to cut as much all the way up to the end as I can. Now I'll just get one of my little pillows here so I can sit it like that and basically put my stocking in place. Open it up. Obviously it's best to put it in place because if you make it too big, it's not going to get through the hole very easily. A lot of manoeuvring, which you don't need to do. So I'm going to just make it the size of a small size ball. Not exactly a tennis ball. Okay, didn't want to go in, so just sort of with your finger, just press and it'll all go into place. Give it a bit of a shake. Okay, so just sort of twist the end off so no glass bead gets out. And just sort of hold it on your hand and think about the feel of that. You'll know if it feels too heavy. You really will. And if it feels too light, you'll know as well. So you got to sort of consider it as a whole if, you know, the head was falling back. I kind of think that's pretty good. But I'll put the smidgen more in. Putting it on my shoulder, feeling the weight of it. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. Yep, I think that's fine. Okay, so then I'm going to tie that off there. I'm still going to give it a little bit of manoeuvrability, but it doesn't need as much as the belly. So I normally let that sort of fall and sit towards this section, because if you think about it, when you've got, well, this is if you're working with newborn babies, by the way. So if you've got a newborn baby, their head always has a tendency of falling back, okay? Falling back. If you have a baby that's older, that might be sitting up, maybe a toddler, you might want to try to get that a bit more centralized, not so much to the back. You can just see it sort of falls. Okay. So now we fill the rest of the area with polyfill. Now, once again, when you're working with the polyfill and putting it in the head, don't overstuff it. If you overstuff it, your head, which is beautiful like that now, will then go, and it will look like it's just eaten too much macas, okay? So just gently fill it in. Try to get it up into that section of the cheeks and everything without giving it a blowout. But yeah, I've in the past, you know, I've done it, especially when I was starting and trying to get, you know, you've got the cheeks are nice and soft there and you're thinking, oh, they're too soft. And you keep adding polyfill and before you know it, the head's really out of shape, too fat. But you'll notice that anyway. If it's overfilled, you'll notice that it's now looking a little bit out of shape. So he's still looking good. We want to make sure that, you know, see how that's a little bit too soft there? So I have to probably try to get some more polyfill up into that top section. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard. You might have a pair of hemostats or something that you can use to push the polyfill up if it's not going into that area. He's still looking good. That's a little bit more solid now. The cheeks are good. So I'm feeling like that's the way to go. He's fine. So I'll put my glass bead out of the way. So now is the last plug. Whoops. So again, I'll show you about the plug if you weren't here earlier. To measure the plug area, it's just this center hole. You can see that there's my 4 centimeter mark just there. So 4 centimeters is 40 millimeters. So you will need a 40 millimeter. Let's see if we can get this. 40. See the 40 in there? That's a 40 millimeter plug. Now sometimes when you've got the neck ring on, it can make it a little bit harder to put the plug in. But if everything's right and uniform, there's no vinyl poking out anywhere, it should just easily pop in. Nice and easily. So we can see that's finished that off really nice. Okay. So now we go back to the body. And we consider all the factors about adding more polyfill. Okay, so now as you can see, obviously I have to pull it a little bit. It's going to be pulled a little bit tighter here. But as you can see, we've got some really spongy areas which look good now, but over the next couple of months that will compress and be too flopsy. Okay? So I'm just going to add a little bit more polyfill there, because I do want my baby to last like nicely for my customer. So put it all in there, and then we need to do a little bit of a test. So we get the head and we just pop it into place. My phone keeps going. And we think about all of this aspects here. We don't want it to be too big in the chest, and we don't want it to have a hunchback. Okay? But we do want to know that it's not going to come on there and then sit like and have all these crinkles here because it's too heavy. Okay? But I'm thinking that at this moment that that's pretty good. We'll just see how that goes. Now, the best way to do it is by putting this part of the neck all the way to the front of the neck and holding it there, and pull a little bit of the back, not too tight. So we can still go beyond the point of no return. We can take it away if we need to. So this to me feels really good. And I can give it a little bit of a hold and see how it feels. Now remember, it might be a tad stiff at the moment, just a tad, but by the time Mum gets it and gives it a few, loving cuddles, it will compress and it will be getting a little bit softer and more floppy for it, okay? So I know everyone loves the floppy look and it's really great, but, it will compress, and that's when you get a little bit too disappointing. So at this stage, I'm happy with that. You can still see that there's movement in there and everything. So this is when I'll get my cable tie and I'll pull it tighter so it's all in place. Pull the head back to make sure it's not going to pop off. That's the worst thing on earth, when the head pops off on the customer. It's devastating. It's upsetting. And you'll be able to see, even though I've made it nice and tight, my head rotates nicely, very easily. Okay. So that's how we go at that stage. This is where we're up to. I'm just seeing how everyone's going. Reborn Under the Sun said she's not having a box opening, more of a blanket reveal. Okay. Okay, when you buy beads, you support Sister Bean. Only buy from her. Fair enough. Bountiful Baby has a nice thick pair of leggings at the reasonable price on sale. A lot of $6 for $8. Okay, that's all right. Terry said, there was one of my questions was Harbour Freight and if beads were going from there or not. I can't answer that one, but someone else might be able to answer it for you. Vanessa said, I'm new to this channel. Love your videos. Thank you. Angela said, when do you use the Angel Silk polyfill? I like to use the Angel Silk in the body, but especially on more of the preemie babies. I do use it on these size as well. It's good to use in the body. It feels really, really, really nice. This is more so just for you guys to see. I will probably be replacing the insides of this with the Angel Silk and the premium glass beads. I'm actually out of premium coarse glass bead at the moment, so couldn't put it in this baby. But when I do send babies, they've got that in. But just for the purposes of doing this video now, I wanted you to actually see just the basics of what I'm using. But yeah, that's what I would use in the body, the Angel Silk, even in the arms. Not necessarily in the head so much because you can't feel it. But in the body and that you definitely can. So if you've got Angel Silk and it's a preference of yours, I definitely would use it in the body and the 3/4 arms. Brandy said, Terry, they are clean and they are different sizes. They use them for sandblasting. Yeah, they're fine. So I'm just going to skip down to the bottom here so I can finish up with this guy for you. Jennifer said, I like mine floppy, but not too much, so they feel natural when holding them. Yeah, definitely. You want them to feel natural, that's for sure. And this baby will sort of get that flop in it. But, obviously, if you like right floppy from the beginning, by all means go for it, especially if it's your own baby, because you're then able to fill it up if need be. But this is more so if you're making a baby for someone that isn't into reborning. You need to think about the long-term effect of how it's going to be. Heidi said, Hannah's always been filled really full. This floppiness is kind of a new concept to me. The floppiness is always beautiful. It's obviously the best way to have your baby the most realistic. Reborn Under the Sun said, what if you have a reborn baby that cannot use neck rings like the one I'm getting? It is the Amber Kid. She has no neck ring, but I'm not sure if I need to add plugs. Well, you can always measure it up and see if you could buy one. But if not, just make sure that you don't put the cable tie too tight so it allows still a little bit of rotation. And he said, baby screaming mouse. He needs a hug. Yes, I'll give him a hug in a minute. On the neck ring without the neck ring, sorry. Had to continue to add my second paragraph. That's okay. Okay, so that is to the last part. And the last part is basically cutting the cable ties so this baby will be born. Okay, so when you're cutting cable ties, I highly recommend, your nail clippers. They're awesome because the edge of that is moon-shaped, so round. So if you were just to cut, please don't do this at home. Let's say you just got scissors. I've seen so many people do it in the past. And they just get them and they just cut the cable tie like that. And they leave it. They leave it. And this is so sharp. It actually will scratch you and cut you. And even if you were to cut it right up to the edge, you're still going to have those really sharp edges, which are really disturbing and upsetting for customers when they get cut. So that's why I say nail clippers are your absolute best. And see, when I push it all the way to the edge and trim it, it's nice and easy and I can't feel that there. So I'm not going to get cut. And either is my customers, which is really, really important. So again, go around the whole area. If you need to do any tightening, do it before you cut it. Just make sure that that limb isn't going to come off or anything. And as soon as you're happy with it, just cut the cable tie. Now the arms, make sure it's in place, it's not going to pop off. Cut them. And the last arm, here we go. Okay, there we go. So the last part is the neck. Now that's basically what I call the umbilical cord. It's the last point that when you cut that, that is what they call the time of birth. That is the most special time. Now, other people might do the time of birth differently. That's completely up to you. It's all right if it works for you. But that's what I call my time of birth. So I get the cable tie, I get ready with my time, and I snip. And it's 10:36 a.m. here. So I'll just write that down. 10:36 a.m. So let's make sure you write that down. So that's all ready to go. Now that last bit so used to finish off is me as a business, Miracle Babies Newborn Nursery. I have like a little tag that I sew to the back of my babies. So that actually says where it's from. And you would then go and weigh your baby. So I will go and do that soon. But I'll take it all off. But before it is, I can't let this baby completely be naked for the rest of our live stream. So I'm just going to put a nappy on him. Disposable nappy. Give this little baby a little bit of dignity while he's on live. And I'll give him a little outfit. Just so he can have that little bit of dignity, okay? That little arm in there. Needs a little pair of leggings under there to cover his 3/4 limbs, but you basically get the gist of what I'm doing. Fix him all up. You could also put like a little singlet on them or whatever. There we go. He's got his little Christmas koala outfit on there. He needs to get his blanket. Oh, he looks a little bit upset, doesn't he? It's a boy. Yes, it's a boy. Jennifer said, LOL, having fun with Reborn, and I cut my first doll's hair too short. Oh, no, some people do that. That's normal. Gigi said, unless you live in New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania, or ACT, then it is 11:37 a.m. Yes. Not sure about Northern Territory or Western Australia. Western Australia are 2 hours behind us, I believe. So I think at the moment it's 8:45 in Western Australia. Needs to get some socks for this little boy. Reborn under the sun said, I have purpose the wrong zip ties in the past. That is, it broke off. Now I know to get cable ties. Yes. Having fun with Reborn said, now, LOL, she looks so bad. Poor baby. Heidi said, oh no, having fun. And you purchased, okay. It's a boy, yeah. Gigi said, very, very cute. He needs a dummy. Mummy doesn't want a dummy. Mummy doesn't want a dummy. So he's got to learn to self-soothe. He is so cute, Vanessa says. Denise said, so cute. Terry said, he's hungry. Yes, he is. 7:39 in Jacksonville. 7:40 p.m. where Sylvie is. Tricia said it's 12:40 in Ireland. Lorraine said, bye, everyone. Bye. It's AM, yeah. It's AM here. And Jennifer said bye. And Angela said bye, Lorraine. Wiggles, Leslie said bye, Lorraine. Came out great. Yeah. He needs to be fed with formula or breast milk. Gillian said 45 minutes after midnight in England. Wow. That Gillian, I should say. I'm sure it's Gillian. 6:40 p.m. Feels like 10 o'clock though. Oh, having fun needs help. What does she need help with? Sorry. Say again. Gigi said Trisha like at night. Thanks, Edie, for joining us. She's got to go. Love you too. It's beer 30 here. Jennifer said bye, Edie. Denise said 7:41 in Maryland. I can't really go back. If you could comment again, it's just hard for me to go back because sometimes they're not actually there and I spend forever. So if you could say the comment again, I'll answer. So I'll get some I'll fix this boy up completely to the way I want him with the standards, and get some photos and everything. So they'll be posted on my Facebook page and Instagram. Reborn on the Sun said, bye everyone, gotta go. I'm about to have this reborn baby girl in 12 hours or so, or 48 hours. Good luck with everything. Tammy said, Mary talked to post. It's Christmas miracle. They are giving her a redirect for free. Oh, that is beautiful. I'm so glad to hear that, Tammy. Brandy said, having fun, cut the hair too short, and then, then she shaved it off. Okay. She don't know what to do. Okay. Well, if she shaved it off, I mean, it's either go about and do some painted hair, which is a little bit difficult because you'll have that. No. A little bit difficult. She'll have those tiny holes. My suggestion is to redo it again. Really, because otherwise if she paints it, she's going to have the holes. But I have heard people before, they'll go in and use something like a 3D texture or even your matte varnish and do that first and then go over it. But I think, as a whole, I think you're really going to have to start again. The hair that has been shaved off, scary. You're going to have to get it from the inside and pull it all out from the inside and just start again. Jacqueline says, beautiful from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Thank you, Jacqueline. Heidi needs to know what to do. Okay, hopefully that helped. Having fun said I brought a Reborn, cut her hair short because it was long and ended up shaving it. What do I do now? Okay, so does that help at all? Having fun? Annie said, for the tiny holes, can you varnish over them and seal them mouse? Yes, you can. It just depends on how big the holes are. Like some people have really lots and lots of pluggy holes, but generally you can do that. Especially if you want to paint it, you could varnish, seal it, or 3D texture, paint it, draw it, and then seal it again and leave it as is. Jennifer said maybe you can reroute a little thicker to hide other cuts. Yeah. Well, even rerouting it will hide the holes, but it could hide the cut hair, but it might be a little bit prickly. You could use a wig. Very good point, Marie. Miss Donnie said, now I can play online with my baby friends. Owe you an email. Night, everyone. Thanks, Annette. Bye, Miss Donnie. Brandy said, there are places that sell doll wigs. Yes, that's a good idea. Reborn Under the Sun said, oh no, having fun with Reborns. Either reroute hair or add wig. Good idea, Marie says. Angela said to Marie. First time Reborn said, I make wigs, Brandy. Oh, that's awesome. Tammy's Tiny Tot says, I'm rooting a baby now. I'm terrified to do the cutting when I'm done rooting. It's not that bad, but I probably do have some videos in the past that actually show how to cut. So if you go into my videos and just type in hair, It'll just show you all the videos I've got that have to do with hair. And if you look through one of those, it might show, well, it definitely will show how to cut hair. Ellie said, Annette, do you have a Facebook? Yes, I have Facebook. You can look under this name, Miracle Babies Nursery, like that, and you'll find this channel linked to that. Brandy said, oh, that's great to know. Reborn Under the Sun said, Marie, LOL, you read my mind. First time Reborn said, I've been making wigs for humans for years. Might as well use my knowledge on Reborns. Absolutely, that's so awesome. Having fun said, a doll wig sounds like a great idea. And he said, Mouse, I thought of a nickname you can call Megan. Since you have magpies, you can call yours Meagpie. Oh, that's cute. Brandy said, I'm horrible with cutting hair. I thought about taking them to hairdressers around the corner. That's a good point. Reborn Under the Sun said, having fun with Reborns. You and I both have a similar situation. I have to assemble my reborn baby girl and I'm scared to death. But let's work together and see if we can help each other out. Fair enough. Angela said, first time Reborn, do you sell them or can you teach us how to make them? Good point. Heidi said, I'm scared to cut too. I considered taking a doll to my hairstylist. Jennifer said, I thought of doing that too. Brandy, but then I was like, nope, I can do this. Yeah, you can. It's just, if you go back on my videos, I'm sure that there's the one there that can help. Brandy said, LOL, Heidi, I just said that. Heidi said, LOL, Brandy, jinx. That's a good idea, Heidi. Jennifer said there are good tutorials online how to cut hair. That's a good idea too. And he said, I call Megan my squishy little mama. I pinch her cheeks and she loves my baby's cut. Oh, that's cool. Having fun said, Reborn Under the Sun. Sounds good to me. I'm going to need all the help I can get. Juju said, wigs are not that hard to make. And Jennifer said, he's so cute. Thanks, guys. All right, I'm off. It's time for me to go. So that took about an hour and a half to put that baby together. And now he needs to sleep. Okay, so it's time for me to go. I hope everyone's well. I hope you enjoyed today's live stream, and I'll see you on Friday. Sylvie, have a good night. You too. Annie said, baby Sydney's hugging Mouse. Someone screenshot that. Aww. Elaine says, bye. Marie said, night, Annette. Night. Gigi said, have a nice Arvo. I will do. You too, Gigi. Denise says, bye. First time Reborn said, bye all. Hope everyone has a great week. Terry said, bye. Thanks, Annette, and bye. Thank you. Mwah. Denise said, great video. Thank you. Astral said, bye, Mouse. Bye. Everyone have a great week. Angela said, thank you. Love it. Have a great week. All love to Mateo. Thank you. I'll give him your love. Heidi said, thanks, Annette. Love you. Love you too, Heidi. Jennifer said, bye to all who are leaving. See you later. Have a great week. I'll see you all on Friday. Take care and stay good. Be behaved. Bye.